well, the place where you lived in the movie, was that pretty much the way it was, or was there set decoration?
It was actually pretty much the way that it was, which worked beautifully for what they needed. The one compound, the family that, there was a woman named Kat, and it was her family. They lived on a compound, and they had like 5 or 6 different houses where their children lived, and they sort of would alternate and use some of the interiors there, some of the exteriors. We did go on location for a couple of other things, but it was all in the backwoods out in the country. And yes, they did bring in some things, but for the most part, it was just the reality of where these families lived. I know someone.
What feedback have you gotten from the people of Appalachia about the movie?
What feedback have we gotten from the people?
The people who live in Appalachia.
Right. Well, actually, these are in this particular film. It's more the Ozarks in Missouri, and I know that they're actually going to Missouri for a film festival to show some screenings there. I think next month. Do you remember? I want to say her name's Meredith Sisko, the vocalist that sings at the top of the film and also is in that scene. She is a brilliant, intelligent woman from that area that was a journalist and now a musician. And I saw her at a film festival several months ago, and several of the others from Missouri actually drove to this festival to see the film. And the most joyous thing was that they were overwhelmed with the reality and the dignity and grace with which Deborah handled it. They found it very truthful and very authentic, and so I think the response has been very good, and they were so welcoming and generous for us to come into their small community and set up shop, particularly with Deborah and her crew who were all from the East Coast. And but I think they've been pleased, and hopefully they will be when they all get to see it.
Actually, I have a question.
Oh.
How widespread is drug use in that area as opposed to moonshine?
That's a good
because
question.
I've always associated the area with more with moonshine.
Exactly. Yes, how widespread the drug use is in that area as opposed to moonshine. My understanding, and of course growing up in the hills of Tennessee, the meth addiction, which is pretty prevalent in many areas in the country, is quite prevalent in that area, and it has become the new moonshine in many ways. One of the books that Deborah asked the cast members to read, besides reading the novel, of course, which is so rich and beautiful, and as she says, she had a beautiful place to start with. And if you read the book, you can only incorporate so much of a novel into a 95-minute film. But there was another true crime mystery, and the name is going to escape me, but it was one of those true crime books that we read that actually was about a horrendous drug ring murder escapade that went on in that exact Taney and Christian counties, which is where we filmed. I know a lot of it's been cleaned up, they've really been on it, but you get into some of the backwoods, isolated, just like the moonshiners could hide their stills. And it's an easy thing to hide and cook, and it has been very prevalent, but it's gotten better because they've really been cracking down. But unfortunately, it's invaded a lot of small communities around the country. Yeah?
And to offer an insight for that, it's about the only source of income
Yes.
in a lot of places.
Yes, it certainly can be, and when you're that impoverished and you do what you can to survive. Yeah, it's a dreadful thing, and hopefully we can find some solutions to it. Anyone else? You got it. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that my friend and I really enjoyed the movie, and it was, for me, it was like a mystery. It was a story very well told. I know all the social implications are there, but as a story, I think it held together very well from beginning to end. To middle part, I was really engaged the whole time with the story.
Oh, good. I'm glad, and Deborah would be particularly happy. I'm sorry she couldn't be here, but she, the story-wise, it really it's a simple story, but it does have all the elements of a great suspense detective thriller, and it also is a very female empowering film. The young heroine is a girl, and of course we had a female director and producer and co-writer, but a lot of men on the crew, a lot of local crew. But I'm glad that you enjoyed it. For me, I've seen it several times now, and the first time I saw it, I was pretty overwhelmed because I was in and out of the filming process in bits and pieces, so I had not gotten to see all of the other scenes filmed in their entirety. I'd read the book, I'd read the screenplay, I'd met the other actors, but when I saw it all come together, it worked for me, and I'm so thrilled to have been a part of it.
And the first thing you saw was at Sundance.